Hello and welcome to another session of Rapscallion, which is a magical pirate nautical game from Magpie. It is a PBTA game. There's a playlist for this. It's one of the few playlists that has survived the great YouTube blowing up of all my playlists. So consider yourself fortunate if you're watching this on a playlist. There we go. But we left off last time with our characters in port, and they are present there. We did one of our two downtime actions. We were also going to check in. I think at least one person advanced, correct? Was it you, Cass slash Ozumel, I want to say?
Um, it's possible. It's possible it was me. I'm renaming myself now so we can
Okay.
agree upon what I should be called. But um, yes, I believe that I did uh level this time, and I absolutely do not remember what my intent was upon leveling. So
Okay.
I am the worst sort of player that you could ever have. I guess I will go and stare at the moves or see if I actually did it or what. I don't know.
Yeah.
I may have made already a choice.
Yeah. And the choices, uh, let's see. Did we put in the thing for the where the picks are, Patrick? I can't remember if we added that or not for advancement.
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
I'll get those in there. But obviously, there's raising of a stat, or there's taking a new move.
Oh,
There is also uh, adding adding a new bond or raising a bond permanently.
okay.
So there are some interesting choices there. But as we said last time, oh, did you raise? Actually, did you raise? I think you raised the bonds with Starseeker, didn't you?
Did
Or
I?
did you?
Am I at
Or
three?
you're at three?
Oh, I must have done that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's what you did with that advanced.
All right.
It's just, since it's such a flexible, useful thing to you.
It is.
So when we left off last time, everybody had done a downtime action, and you're in Kosret Landing. So I wanted to give you all a chance to kind of call a scene before we have the second downtime action, which had been granted you by the wealth of the locals. Basically, get a chance if you want to go and like check on things, uh, outside of a kind of a move-based thing. If you want to find out stuff, we can kind of do it a little bit with the basic moves, but give you a chance to do that. Captain, I'm going to start with you, Captain Humayun.
Oh,
I think that you will uh, certainly pick up when you're in port from the general beck and call of things, uh, that uh, there are there is a ship from the Royal Navy in port. They are
okay.
permitted to be here. If there's a general understanding that they will not prosecute or press here in nearby waters. And, in return, they're allowed to post bounties and make offers and have an office here. Um, Certainly, the sharks have their offices here, obviously, but the Royal Navy is a little more special to have the one of their vessels seen. But the other thing that you will hear is two things. One is that there is a God whaler ship that is in port, that actually limped into port, and is undergoing repairs.
Okay.
And the other is, no one is saying what ship they came in on, and no one is entirely certain if in fact they are here. But there's enough rumors going around that suggest that some representatives from the witches of Osgrim are present. They always
Oh
have agents.
dear.
All of these factions always have agents in a place like Kosret Landing. But like when an actual operative, when an actual witch is present in port, that's a little more of a talking thing. So
Hmm.
what do you want to do, Captain Humayan? And we'll assume, by the way, this is something that was brought up last time, so I'll remind you, you have delivered that letter, that note for that gentleman who you met,
The
Elias,
necromancer.
yeah, Elias bin Ra, that has been delivered. So that particular situation has been dealt with.
Okay. Good, 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 good.
Yeah.
I presume we did not leave things on good standing for him, so he should be warned.
Yes.
I don't know if will be blamed for it, but okay.
You had the sense that he fully expected that he would not be able to trade with them again after this.
Yeah, that we burned him, so that was okay. I hate it though. Well, definitely don't want to poke the bear of the Navy. I don't see anything positive that could come from that.
Really? Fair enough.
No, no. I mess with them in port, and I'm opening it up for them to mess with us. So we'll try and keep a little low profile. They despise our ship.
They
Um,
do.
yeah, yeah. Um, I suppose I should look into the witches thing for my dear friend Nonius. Primarily because I want to be informed before Nonius finds out. Because being uninformed and Nonius finding out would be potentially bad.
On the other hand, if you don't know anything about it, you can't give him orders that he could then go against.
Yeah, but
But that's moon talk. That's Nonius talk. So let's
yeah.
see here. Uh let's have you do a size up here. Does that seem reasonable?
Sure, 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 sure. Let's see. Basic moves of size up. That's with vinegar. Alrighty.
Yeah.
And I have
Yeah.
a bit of vinegar.
By the way, I'll point out from when you do your downtime actions, you do have a card shark who will
Hmm.
aid if you decide to gamble on shore.
Yeah, I'm torn. I have thought about that. I could use the money though. I am by far and away the poorest member of our
Because
crew at the
because all
moment.
your stuff is tied up in treasure hidden away.
It is, it is. All right, let's roll a little vinegar here and see how the dice are doing. That's a seven though. That's
That
could
is
be worse.
a 7. So and we can kind of modify these questions as you see fit. Uh let's start with one hold, and then you can tell
Mhm.
me if you want to stick your nose in somewhere. What is it you want to know?
Um, what strange secrets lie just beneath the surface?
You will definitely pick up in the kind of ask a sense of checking around that, and the signs point back, angle for you, that uh, there are some people, they may be witches, maybe a couple of witches and a swordsman, not unlike Nanius in that
Hmm.
role, a guardian. Uh, And at the same time, and it may be unrelated, but apparently there's been some coin spent, some people asking about a woman named Yadana.
Interesting. Oh,
And you suspect that that may be who the witches are looking for.
well, that's complicated on lots and lots of levels
Yeah.
there.
Now, if you'd like to stick your nose in somewhere, you can ask another question.
And sticking my nose in, well, what does that? That's just me getting myself potentially into some trouble, isn't it?
That's me putting a little clock here in my notes for because I expect you're not going to be the only one who's going to start some trouble. So I would
True.
just fill
True.
that in.
Yeah, I think I'm going to. Two of my crew members involved in something from this one source might that's spurring me on to look a little deeper.
Okay. So what is your second question?
Um, I guess it's going to be where is the danger lurking to maybe see either a kind of where, where are they, or maybe a little of their intent, either or, I
Sure.
suppose.
Uh, they they have definitely been asking around. Uh, and the real danger is that like people know that Yadana left on your ship. Like that was not something that was particularly hidden and so on. So even now they may be observing your vessel. They probably have that much kind of lead thing. They
We're
probably won't
flashy, it's hard to
attack,
hide
yeah,
us.
won't attack your vessel. I mean, they're not dumb, but there's a real chance that they're going to be lurking in the shadows of Kosret. Uh,
Catching people when they're in ones and twos, maybe.
Possibly.
Hmm. All right, so they're lurking around looking for her though, but I don't hear mention of Nonius.
No.
That's almost worse because Nonius will like that.
They're not
Ugh.
looking for me. Oh yeah, a little rivalry there, so maybe.
All right. Well, having heard that, I will file that away.
Okay. Vern, what would you like to do kind of, you know, outside of downtime, scene that you'd like to call, thing you'd like to look into?
Um, I think I want to um I am going to call it research. It's mostly an excuse to go get drunk and hang out in the bar with the weirdest people I can find.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, there's always people with stories about things that they've seen. This is a port. Uh, I'm going to go, sort of looking for the yeah, I mean the weirdest people I can find is pretty much the what I'm looking for.
Okay. Uh,
The
uh,
weirdest people from another ship, ideally.
Absolutely. So let me grab a get a name in here and we'll find a picture here if I can find a good one. And I see, check my little Rapscallion folder here. Do, 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 do. And oh, folders and subfolders. I'm really glad that I don't have this organized by alphabet because that would make things much easier. Let's see here. Uh, you will see and find out that uh, there is one of the taverns that uh, is more friendly to, let us say, the afflicted, to those who have more obvious oddities and so on. Those have been changed by the time on the waves.
Cool.
It's not here in Kosret that people are openly hostile, but because there are like one of the things for being in an evil cult and things is it does change your physical features. Sometimes people kind of mix those things up. Uh, but uh, uh, the Squid's Platter is the name of the tavern. And when you go back there to kind of check in, how do you make yourself like fit into a weird place like this?
Um, I
Or
mean,
do you not?
it's almost too bad that we're not still cursed, because that would fit in. um,
One of the marvelous things is you find yourself sweating again
I
in the
know it's
tropical
it's
heat.
it's like it's a weird, it's almost a new experience. I have to remember. Oh, right, yes, I'm sweating. This is uh I do that's particularly weird. Oh man, I should have brought the doctor with
The
me.
doctor certainly fit in here like nobody's business.
uh I think I just go in and I'm like, I'm overdressed in a way that looks like I'm hiding something.
Okay, I like that. Uh, so uh, what? Uh, well, let me actually think I'm going to put this to you. Uh, you will see that the um, there is a crew of people here, burly for the most part, but also clearly drawn from around the different places of the islands and so on. And uh, you can see that this seems to be some of the crew of the God Whalers. Uh,
Perfect.
and you will identify their captain there. He is cloaked, kind of to the back. You know, people are you know kind of talking to him. He's the dark cloaked figure in the corner, kind of thing. But definitely, when the light catches him, you can see that he is he is scaled for the most part. His eyes are gold, and he has scales upon him. And you know, when you ask, they'll say, "Oh, that's Captain Chase Sam Lane."
uh
Um, and like these are the monster hunters. These are the followers of Leviathans and so on. And I think what you'll pick up kind of in the cross chatter is that they are here getting repaired because they ran into something that they could not handle.
oh, I want to know all about it.
Okay. You kind of just fall in to the side to hear and pick up on things. And Uh, eventually, there'll be some talk, and they will talk about the fact that while they were pursuing a smallish sea dragon, uh, 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 they cross paths into what turned out to be the hunting ground for something else. They saw They saw the signs, the schools of fish jumping out, dolphins fleeing, and so on. And they turned into it as they often do. And then they saw the fin. And they were not prepared. They've fought these things before, and they, you know, the Godwithers have taken them before, but this was the biggest megalodon that they had ever faced. An enormous shark, vast, sized and black like an orca completely, with blue eyes. And they describe it as having blue porcelain eyes, and that within the black, the cracks of it, there was a kind of a blue glow in underneath the scales as well. And this thing took nearly capsized their ship, tore open the side of it. They got some good shots in on it, but then it took off. Uh, and and here's the thing that stops and kind of like is more talked and hush whispers. It was dragging something behind it. A set of chains attached to the rear of it, and there was something. Well, we couldn't tell what it was. Like it was was it a ship? Was it a building? Was it something else? But it was dragging it as it sailed away. That the chains vanished beneath the waves, and we could only see where the ripples were and just make it out. But at that point, they will say at that point they turned sail, and headed as fast away as they could, because while they are brave and hardy sailors, they also know when this is not their day.
So wise decision. It's yeah, cool. I don't think I'm sitting there frantically taking notes because I'm
Right.
trying to fit in, but I'm mentally frantically taking notes here.
Absolutely. I've put a picture of him in the NPC tab.
Oh, cool.
And so you know that the Godblaze are here. You probably at this point you could pick out some of the crew if you needed to. So if you need to follow up.
Cool. Yeah, so I just hang out and buy drinks and talk to people and just like I said, mostly just carouse and mingle with them.
Absolutely. Cass.
Lo, before
Yes.
we scoot forward,
Yeah.
I do want to say that I will have let uh Yadanda and Nonius know that they're out, that the witches are out there.
Okay. Then Yadana will say, well, I will stay aboard then. There's no need for me to cause problems. And I'm sure that Nanius will deal with them however he thinks is best.
Yeah, it seems
Sure he will.
irresponsible for me not to let them know and just stumble into them. That
Absolutely.
seemed
No, I think
bad.
that's certainly fair. Um, and I do think Ratzenfink will go, like he's already gone ashore with Cass, but he will probably go and go to the butcher's to fetch some for her to store away for later. Cass, what are you doing here on this sort of interim bit?
There are many things I could do, maybe some things I should do. But inherently, when I come to these places, there are other ships, and it's very hard for me to not go visit them, if that makes any sense. So I think that's what I probably will do.
All right.
So I guess this is no, or should I carouse?
Well,
Is it any
this is not a
different than
move. This is not
carousing?
your downtime move. This is a
Oh,
hey, what do you want to
it's just what
see?
I'm doing.
Do you want
Okay.
to interact
Yeah,
with an
I actually want to
NPC?
do take us. That's a good one. I actually kind of think what I want to do is talk to any of the boats people and stuff about like who's on the seas right now that they've passed across. And trade stories, just if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
I have no sense of what should be secret or not, but I probably won't give away the
Won't give
big
away
one.
exactly what you were doing and all of
Exactly.
that kind of
I
thing.
probably won't tell the story of the harpy confusion with the mine and everything, since that might make the captain look bad. So, or heroic. I don't know which. So,
One of the things you'll pick up from one of the vessels that's like a small schooner uh, is they will speak about uh, having done a transport uh, and uh, having like hearing that other people are gathering there. And let me see, I want to check something on my notes from
Okay.
our glossary here. That they have been transporting over the last while a number of figures, uh, song swords. Uh, these are bardic duelists,
Ooh.
but the ones that collect the equivalent of what Vern does, but they collect shanties of
Oh.
power. They collect those songs of power and they shape those into a like a fighting style.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there is some kind of like in the next 6 months, there's some kind of gathering of them there that is happening. That they a number of them have gone there, and
And they ask, and will they be singing those shanties at the shore?
they don't know. Like the reason they're kind of talking about this is hushed tones is they have the sense that there's something weird going on. Like, why are they all going there? One would expect that, if there's a gathering of duelists and stuff, they would go maybe to the island where the Sanctuary of the Blade is. There's a great school
Mm.
there. But this is something else. And Tang
It,
Chao is the other like big free city of the, those who have kind of thrown off the shackles of things. And it all feels very weird and hush hush is how they kind of put it.
ooh, so not like a well-known competition or anything like that. Oh, and
They will mention that they have heard that uh, there is one of these essentially uh, shanty singers in town right now
oh,
by the name of Bazad.
bizarre. Ooh, interesting. I don't think I've ever met one. So thank you. And I bless their ship.
Okay, they will appreciate that. Always good to have a ship's groom do that. They always appreciate it.
It's a good ship. Strong, good timbers.
Yep. Uh, and Nanius, what are you up to?
Uh, so Noni's hears the news about the witches, and not with armies of harpy people, not with strange giant mountains, not with a huge squid that he was in the mouth of. Did he really ever look scared or worried? But he like breaks out into a cold sweat. He looks scared. And before he leaves the ship, he'll go down to the hold where the gem, the star is. Uh, and he's going to very hesitantly stow and leave his sword behind, his death touch blade. And then he's going to go up to his cabin and he'll be in there for a while. And when he comes out, he's trying to be low key and not get clocked by too many of the crew. But his face is scrubbed clean. He is wearing a shirt. It's not closed because he's still known. It's like it's still like
Right.
very open.
There are
But he's
limits.
yeah, he's taken all the chains off from around his neck, and as he closes the door to his cabin, there'll be like a jingle from his forearm where he's wrapped the chains under the shirt, and he has another big floppy brimmed hat pulled down low over his face as he is going to sneak off into the town because the whole reason that he's on this crew, the whole reason that he signed up with Captain Humayan was because he doesn't believe he can take on the witches at this point. And Captain Humayan was a great man once and potentially could be again. But I need to get him his revenge, get both of us our revenge on Lucid Go Lightly. I need to get him his power back because then we'll have the strength to take on the Coven. So, long ago, when we were here in Kosret Landing, I got a vision from death that I don't remember a ton about, but was about a scholar that I could track down here on the island that would be the first step in finding our way to Lucid and getting our revenge on him.
Absolutely. Uh, let's have you roll here. I think this is a little bit of kind of more of a challenging thing. Uh, I want you to essentially parlay, I think is how we're going to read this. Does that seem reasonable?
Okay. Shall try and find information, track this guy down. Yeah, I think that works. Nonius keeps like reaching to his hip where a sword isn't there. And he brought a lot of knives, but it's not enough. It's not the same.
Yeah,
That's 9 + 1 is 10.
10. So I think that you will uh, be essentially given the name of a guy who kind of, I imagine there's a chain of asking around, and that will eventually lead you to a tattooist, uh, and uh, you will get a name there, and that name is Lady Hex Lindsay. And they will say she she has a estate inland. She retired several years ago uh, off of a hoard or two that she had brought in and bought out a fallen noble and established herself on one of the inland, you know, plantations. She keeps to herself. She's a private person, but she is the one that you want to speak to.
All right. Um, yeah, can I track her down?
Yeah. I think this may be a more like I may save this for another scene, like because this actually means leaving town and
Gotcha.
traveling inland. So you may want to take some of your associates and make arrangements for
Cool.
that. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes.
We're going to
And
put a pin
before,
in that bond thing. Like we've got that 10 plus there. So that's good terms thing. We're going to remember that we have that kind of in the background. Does that seem reasonable?
yeah. And I think he can't stop himself. Before I leave town, I'm at least gonna try and get a look at the witches. I'm sure there's some sort of stir around them. I want to just make sure it's no
Sure.
one important. It's no one I know, obviously.
Well, that definitely feels like a size up.
It's vinegar.
Vinegar,
Oh, right.
as in piss and.
Geez, that's a 12.
That is a 12. So, your first hold is going to establish this piece of information for you. There is a pair of very scary twin witches here, Mao and Dao Chaya. Uh, they they are often sent together to deal with matters. Uh, they did not care for your companion. They were something of rivals there. And Mao and Chao are definitely potent and dangerous. They have with them uh, a swordsman that they raised uh, like from a youth to be their defender. His name is Clot, uh, and he's quite good. Uh, he fights with uh, katars, like long katar punch dagger kind of things. Uh, and if they're here, that means there's that like they've been dispatched because there's a serious business there.
Yeah, two. I mean, I realize they travel together, but two witches said to look into this is a lot.
Yes, it is.
All right. I don't think that quite triggers any of my stuff, so
Not
I will
not yet. We'll work
back
on that.
off.
Captain Humayan, you have a downtime action.
I do, and I am ever so torn. Um, and I think I need Buddy,
Okay.
so I'm going to go gambling.
All right. You go and grab Laura Devil Smile hook.
I am taking Devil Smile with me,
Okay.
and
Uh, she helps, so she will give you a +1 on your gambling.
and I am going to spend a luck
Okay.
to give myself up to a +2. See if that helps. It does not. I roll snake eyes.
You roll snake eyes. So, on a miss, pick one.
Hmm. I'm going to get the treasure,
Okay.
making me broke.
Okay. And testing renown. Let's look at that.
That would only happen. Wouldn't that only happen if I chose the second one?
Oh, I thought you said you were going to
No,
take
I'm
the
paying the
oh, paying
treasure.
the treasure. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
I think that is to kind of like uh uh tie it together. I think it is the fact that you end up like finding yourself sitting down kind of across from the God Whaler's captain,
Mm.
and that it is a kind of a duel of captains there, and both of you skilled, both of you you know lucky, and there's only so much that the devil smile can help you with, and uh, eventually, the captain will say, I think that you have to fold, Captain.
It would seem you have the better of me, and I will lose with grace, if not good spirit.
Captain, as you start to kind of push the money over, he'll put his hand out to stop from taking the treasure. It would be churlish of me to take your money from you such a way and not give you the offer that if you wish to hang on to your treasure and perhaps owe me a favor for later down the road, then we could arrange it that way. I find it good to have people who are, I don't want to call you an up and comer because you have stood at the top of that ladder and you will
Mm.
again. But I would be a fool not to take the opportunity to ask for that. But I also have a great deal of respect for you, Captain. So should you wish to pass that money over to me, I will not take that amiss.
Since you show such grace, I cannot help but accept the owing of a favor.
And this is merely a treasure, Captain. And he says he kind of counts the coin, like he says that.
Mm.
So I would never ask for anything that is a higher value than that.
I would expect nothing less of a man of such honor.
If you are to be in town for a few more days, I hope that you and perhaps your circle will come and visit and dine with me.
Oh, that would be lovely. I would indeed very much enjoy that.
Excellent. I'll have my first mate speak with your first mate.
Excellent.
And Vern, what would you like to do for your downtime action? Don't forget to mark a XP, Tyler. So many good choices.
Yeah. Probably should investigate. I'm not sure exactly what to investigate. There are so many good choices. Uh, You skip me and
Sure, absolutely. Ship's groom Cass.
Ah, let's see here. I think I like the idea that I kind of went into town, like looking for the rest of the crew to see what was going on. And I sort of saw the captain and he was gambling and I'm like, oh, that looks like fun, but I don't know how to do that. And, I'm like, but I should do something, you know.
Keeping in mind that you also pissed off the Grand Master of Flowers last time.
I did. When did I do that?
Last time
How?
you
Like the
took him at
nicest.
Hanafuda for all of his money, remember?
That
You
was,
you and
I didn't do
Ratzenfink.
anything. That was Francis Fink and I were just playing cards. It was good luck. That's all it was. Ah, that's interesting. Do I see him?
Well, tell me what you're doing,
Well,
because
I
he
was
may be
thinking
the result of a bad
that,
roll. So
yeah,
yes,
I was gonna go carouse. So
okay.
yeah. So
So mark a treasure.
yeah, I think
Okay.
that's what you do.
Yep.
I'll do that. And I'm gonna try. I have an excellent 0 to add to this.
Absolutely. So let's
So
have you roll polish.
okay. At
Patrick
least
stole
it's
all the luck out of the dice already. So
I know. And it's the thing is that this will probably get, not only the Master of Flowers, but his next door neighbor also mad at me. So let's see how this goes. I'm gonna re-roll my last roll, which was truly hideous. So let's try that. Oh, I got an 11.
you got an 11.
Yes, just straight.
Okay, then. So we look at that, and uh, you get tell us how you carouse and get to Mark 3 luck.
Oh, there's that sword guy, right? The Shanty sword, the sword singer, song sword, the song sword. I asked him, I can't get his thing right. He corrects me. I'm like, I want to hear a song. I can,
Bazad.
yeah, Bazad. I run into Bazad.
Okay, yeah,
He sings a song. I sing a ship song. We sing back and forth. That's what we do. I drink a little, but I'm pretty intoxicated just with the singing, if that makes
absolutely.
any sense.
And it is the thing. You are a ship's groom, and he knows some of the songs that ships sing to one another. They're the kinds of songs that most people actually can't hear them when he sings them.
Oh,
And so there is this sort of weird thing of when he's singing to everybody else, it sounds like he's kind of like doing, they're doing a humming along kind of thing. Whereas as for you, you can actually hear the lyrics of that.
I like that very much.
You rolled a 10 plus, so you get to tell me whether you made shady friends or caught wind of opportunity, and you get to describe it.
I don't think he's shady. I've made a friend, Lowell. I've made a friend of Bazad. I offer him, you know, I say, I will speak to my captain. You can come and with us. Where is it you're going?
Well, I am eventually headed to Tangchao, in the
Oh,
north. That is a ways away. I appreciate your enthusiasm, young groom, but do not commit your captain to such a journey
oh, the
easily.
ship would be so intrusive. It would be grand, but Tangzhou, what's there? I act like I've never heard of it. Like, is there? Perhaps I can convince him. Would be a good place to go.
It is it is the it is the greatest of the free cities that is not, besides here, that is not under the dominion of the seven. And here is, like, we answer to the seven here. They do not there. They have a presence. Uh, but it is the gateway to the jungles of Mirafa, to the inlands, to the lost places there, a place of legends. But there is kind of pause because he clearly doesn't want to say too much, but he says there is a gathering of, well, my friends, let us say, there that is happening.
If by the judge of your character, I think that that would be an interesting place to be. But I will speak to my captain anyway. This has been lovely, absolutely lovely. Come and have some wine. And
Absolutely. And Bazad will sit and drink with you, Cass, though you are a bit of a lightweight compared to this slightly grizzled shanty singer.
yes, I know. I mean, I assume that I I how should I say get well and truly drunk at some point. But I guess say
Which is why you're down one treasure.
I know that's okay because I
Yeah.
paid for everything.
Yeah. Don't forget, I did mention before, there is a buying things list for buying things like healing salves and things.
Oh, in case we need those things.
Yeah.
Does someone need healing?
Not, no one that I could think of.
Oh, huh. I can't remember anyone needing healing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be okay at the moment, but it does come up
Does come
often.
up often.
Okay.
Uh, Nanius, what would you like to do for your downtime action?
I also have been sitting here bouncing back and forth between multiple different paths. Um, but I think I'm gonna do test your bonds uh
Okay.
with Yadana.
All right.
Uh I think this is another sparring match between us. Um but it's well, obviously it's at night, but it has to be at night because we can't be out on the ship. We can't be seen. We can't be making a spectacle. We can't do anything. I am locked in the ship. My sword is locked down in the hold, and I am fighting her with chipped daggers because she is the one that they're after. She is the one that they're combing the island for and asking everyone about. She is the one that is going to lead them to the ship because she apparently has some thing going on with them.
Are you truly offended by that, Nanius, or are you bothered that they're not looking for you?
I am upset that this is getting in the way of plans that I have. I have a path. I have a journey that I am on, and you are nothing but a hindrance in the way. And now you bring other hindrances to trip all of us up. And let me be clear, like Nonius is a dangerous person. He is fast and he is good with any sort of handheld weapon, but where their duels sparring matches have been very even, Nonius is, often comes out on top. This is not going well for him. Like he's competent with these daggers, but he is not inspired with them. He is not graceful with them, and she still has all the edge in this.
Spend that bond.
I have one, so I'll spend one.
Do you want to spend luck with this too?
Oh, that's yeah.
Could take that up to a +2.
Yeah, I do want to do that.
Okay.
A 9 + 2 is 11.
11. there is that moment where like she comes in and ordinarily with your blade, you would have been able to stop this maneuver. But she comes in and there is that bit where just the tip of her dagger touches your throat and draws that drop of blood. And she will stop and she will say, "Do you think I asked for this, Nanius?"
I think we all live lives that beg certain outcomes.
I will tell you a truth. And I wish you to put this in your little head. And she puts her weapons back. It is not true for all of my kind, I have come to understand. But I am this way because death made me this way. I went to the Black Gate and this is how he sent me back. This is how she sent me back. This is how they sent me back. I know there are abominations like me because they have evaded death's gaze and they have done those things that are horrors. But the idea that your witches know the will of death is, to my mind, the height of hubris. And I think you, probably more than anyone, know that's true.
I had a complicated relationship with death and their workings.
You have a complicated relationship with death and their workings. I can see her hand on your shoulder.
I You are not the only undying abomination on this ship. I've made I've had deals made for me by people that I agreed to give that power over to. I Death will not come for me either until I have either delivered Bai Guqing to them or she delivers me to them personally.
Oh, you do aim high, do you not, Nanius?
Well, I don't do things simply, certainly. I do not bear your particular curse, but I am not part of nature or the order of things any more than you are at this point.
Going against nature is a part of nature too. There's a shanty I heard that went like that.
I wish I could bring myself to believe that. I wish I could bring myself to believe that what I am is anything other than a horror. But I have a purpose, and I can end this. And I will.
I think we'll stop there. Like, I think that's a good point. You may take another bond with her.
Can I clear my regret about not killing Captain Susanto?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I don't think this gets rid of any visions of hell, but I can see it
Yep,
easing some of that turmoil.
absolutely.
Cool.
Vern, you thought about what you'd like to do for your downtime.
Yeah, I think I'll just gamble.
Okay. All right. Spitfire, you spending any luck?
Oh, I have lots of luck to spend, don't I? Yeah.
How much?
Uh, I'll just spend one luck.
Okay. Then a roll with Spitfire with an additional +1.
12.
12.
I didn't need to spend any luck.
Oh my God. So yeah, you get 2 treasure and winnings. Uh,
Awesome.
do you want to piss somebody off and get 3 treasure?
Um, nah,
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. Then I think there is that Hermione, you come back and you've been like, oh, you know, it's a, and then
I
Vern
am
is
gonna buy a
back.
revolver though.
These tables are terrible at this time. No one can win here.
Vern comes back with fat stacks of loot.
Yep.
Uh, let's take a break. Let's take 10. We'll come back and we'll talk about buying things and, other things you want to do in town before we leave port, all that jazz. So take 10. So let's bring the crew back together aboard your vessel, seated at the captain's mess, uh, companionably chatting there. And I imagine that maybe there's a bit of the the ringing of a glass with a spoon to listen to what the captain has to say. What are you saying to the crew, Captain Humayun?
Well, one would hope that we've all enjoyed a bit of rest and relaxation. I will say that it has been very nice to be warm again. A toast to warm again. And we'll tip out there. We have before us uh, some opportunities, let us say. Now is the time for us to make decisions on where and what we should do next. There is a buried treasure that I have left that might be able to assist us, the ship, me. I was not particularly lucky at the tables at this time in port, and could use a bit of money. There is another treasure some distance away, but one that is quite close. Actually, I will point towards the map that is there on my desk. Um, However, it is within reason that we might have other things that could pull us along. I believe that for now, we need to gain as much as we can to push forward both ourselves and the ship. We are lucky at this moment that there are few particularly pointed swords in our direction. One would hope, at least. We have the Navy here at port, something we must avoid. But I have great faith in Cass that as soon as we leave port, we will put plenty of wind in our sails and leave the Iron Navy behind. But I open the floor. Is there anything that my officers and my most esteemed companions might wish to pursue? Nadius, anything that strikes your particular fancy?
Well, I will say with the coven crawling over the island, it is a bit precarious at the moment. But I have tracked down some information on a scholar formerly attached to Captain Lucid's crew.
Lucid. May his soul be damned 1,000 times.
We can only hope she feels similarly.
It is an ultimate goal of mine to find Lucid, get my vengeance upon him. I admit it is something I feel needs to be built towards, but any information would be valuable. You know where this scholar resides, Nottingham?
Yes, I know where she has retired to. And I did think that while I have my own ways of convincing people, that maybe we would start with yours, since you have much more varied arsenal of tools.
Is she nearby?
She lives on a plantation on the island.
On this island?
Yes.
Ah. Well, then before we depart, or would it be, should we sail to this plantation? Where is it located?
It is
Somewhere in the
inland.
heart of the island.
Yes, you will have to go by land.
Oh, the interior, eh? Mm.
I think I could get us in the door.
I suppose it is worth some conversation. Not all of you are as aware, perhaps, of Nonius and I's past with this fell creature. And I unfortunately ran afoul of Lucid Golightly at a very low point in my life. And in desperation, and with some perhaps coercion, I forfeited my doubloon to Golightly, who has since been quite the scourge of the sea.
I know your feelings and plans for him, and I've shared some of mine on the subject. But as tempting as this is, if there is other business, like I said, she retired to this plantation, so I don't think she's planning on going anywhere anytime soon.
When the time was right, I had intended also to head to the north to speak with an old friend about Golightly. Someone who hates him probably as much as the two of us. Langshimai, you may have heard the name, one of the pirate lords, and at one time shall we say, friendly acquaintance of mine.
Oh.
But that is for the future. These witches, what do they want other than our newest crewmate? And I'll look over at Jadora. Do you have any idea, Nonius?
Ladonna says nothing and kind of looks to Nanius.
As far as I've heard, they're here asking questions about her, presumably sent to track her down. I'm afraid there may be too many public signs of our dealings with her to entirely cover it up.
And part of. Am I correct that the witches themselves, and not to throw disparaging remarks toward your past, but they see themselves as guardians against the nature of our friend here, correct?
There are many things in this world that offend them, but yes, they do take a special note of creatures who defy death.
They're the handmaids of death, so they believe. And things like myself and others are necromancers, and those sorts of things are anathema to them. It is their desire to put the world right for death itself.
So if they got a hold of you, they would end you.
Yes, I believe so.
Well, you have become a part of this crew, and I certainly will not see someone come aboard my ship and attack any of my crew. I hope we are all in agreement of that. So the question is, do we think it is safe to go to the interior of this island away from our ship to seek this scholar, or would we be perhaps better served to leave the island and witches behind, let them go about their pursuit of us in other means, and return when we think we may have a better option? Any thoughts, Cass?
Certainly, I believe that if you wished to keep the ship safe, LaDonna and Skeleton Crew and myself could certainly sail it away from the things so that we would not leave anyone exposed to the witch's attention. If you wish to go inland, I could offer that, or we could all go and simply sort of look, perhaps a disguise.
Would a disguise work against these witches, Nonius?
They could certainly perform rituals or magics to track her down, but they use their eyes like everyone else.
Oh. Vern, any thoughts?
Do I have anything that could No, I don't think so. It does seem like a waste to already be here on the island and uh not go into the interior, while we're here. Uh as you said, this person's retired here, but you know, people die, people leave, people disappear.
Hmm. Um,
Marta will say, Captain, now you can read this as you wish to. You can take this as you want. Your assessment is your own on this sort of thing. But the way you speak of things, the idea that if you were to take three or four of you folk away, that they would become brave enough to attack our ship in the meantime. I'm not saying that I would read that as an offensive statement, but one might be offended that you are reading it such that you don't think that we could protect Udana or that they would suddenly become brave enough to take us on. I might read that a different way.
I, you're absolutely correct, Marta. Honestly, part of my mind was thinking Idana going with us, but that does seem foolish. Now that I think about it, thank you, Marta. You, as always, cut to the very quick of things. And Idana, I suppose it really is sort of something to ask you, since it is your own life that would be coming to an end. Uh,
If my choice is of a set of choices, Captain, I'd rather stay aboard the vessel, and not make troubles.
but you suggest we perhaps take the opportunity to speak with this scholar.
It seems like Nanius has thought of this, so yes, I would say that he's looked out for your interests,
Mm,
and we should follow his plan.
all right, then. Well,
Plus, I'll be able to get to all kinds of hijinks while he's gone. Yeah,
Ah,
see, that's where we go with that.
very good. Hijinks included, then why don't we make such a trip? Cass, I will leave to your discretion whether you would like to stay with the ship or not. I know your affections for remaining aboard, but of course, to be honest, your advice and the wisdom that I've learned you often speak would be quite helpful, I'm sure.
That is very kind, Captain. Let me walk around the ship, see what it is ready for.
Very well, then. We will plan in the morning. Vern, I would appreciate if you would accompany us.
Absolutely.
Nonius, myself, Vern, and should you choose Cass, I don't really think that we should take much of a compliment. Leave the remainder here on the ship. I think that should handle things, and we will make a quick and clean break of it out of town into the interior, with hopes that we shan't be landside for terribly long. All right, everyone rest up. Marta, if you would please, let's double the watches.
Aye, aye,
No
sir.
need to be caught unawares.
Understood. And she will make it so. Cass, do you think you want to go?
I think I have to go and talk to Ratzenfiend.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to give him my astrolabe and show him all the special marks that are on it. And he has to align it with the masts in case they have to leave the harbor. And I walk him through all the things in case they need to move, so that I know that the ship's in good shape. And I go and speak to the ship and to my true love.
Okay. Absolutely. We'll go through that process. I imagine it takes into the wee hours,
It
such that
does.
that when you get up in the morning for the journey, it is like you've stayed up too late before you have to drive to the
Exactly.
airport, you know?
Exactly. And yes. Um, Yes, I think that's exactly how it is.
And I imagine that it's getting up while it's still kind of fog lit in the harbor in the morning, and hiring a carriage there, and you'll bundle into that, and the rider will couple of horses, and will take you. They kind of remember there's that kind of cliff with the Oracle sort of towards center town, so there's that kind of riding up and around that, right to sort of the uplands, and riding inland of this island. This is an island that is definitely made up of farming lands. So we have definitely sugarcane fields and cotton and peanuts and other things that can be found here. Laborers working there, some sharecroppers that are being given lands, but a lot of these are more organized as kind of more like feudal estates, landowners taking
Mm.
care of the people that live there, and then handling the trade and so on, that kind of symbiotic relationship between the landowner and the people who work the lands.
Is this primarily like to support the harbor and trade with the people coming in? Are they big export? Because a lot of what you're talking are kind of cash crops.
Well, cotton for essentially, there's definitely a need for that for cloth and such inside, and there are weavers and looms, to supply the
Hmm.
town. The sugarcane is important for molasses and rum. So while normally these might be, cash crops, there's probably a certain amount of that's for export, but a lot of it is bought. The town has wealth coming through, so there's that trade-off of things.
Mm. It probably works well for them. They don't have to worry about doing trade routes. The trade comes to them.
Yeah. But you will, take a couple of hour ride in before you are brought to the estate. Uh, again, well managed, clearly well developed, and you arrive there, and there, when you pull up, there may be a little bit of surprise. You're not scheduled to be here, and there will be a not chatelaine, but a equivalent of a seneschal for the household, a house steward, who will come out, ties their apron up a little tighter, kind of wipes their hands off before they come up, and a little unusual to see people such as yourselves here, but they will come forward, and will say, uh, "Mm, may I ask your business here at our stead?"
Of course, I apologize for coming unheralded. However, we have heard of the magnificent knowledge of the mistress of the house, and we're hoping that we might be able to speak with her for a short moment or two over some of her studies.
Do you have a letter of introduction of some sort?
I do not, but perhaps she has heard my name. I am Captain Hermione Holtz of the Star Seeker.
Hmm, hmm. And Nanius, you have a little bit of an edge here. What is it that you say that like is some leverage to get in here? We kind of rolled that to know that you do have that.
Hmm. Um, I think he has a very old and fancy bottle of wine. Maybe something that was like made by the noble family that used to own that plantation.
Okay. You
With that, we have a housewarming gift for the lady that may interest her, ties into the history of this place.
and you will hand that off, and he does Kraut, arch an eyebrow, and he said, "Well, if if you all will come into the summer porch, then and have a sit, I will have sweet tea brought and go and speak to the lady of the house."
Thank you very much.
And they will take you in, and essentially this is very much a working plantation, not particularly fancy. A lot of what might otherwise have been for nobility done over to a little bit more Baroque has been kind of turned over into more working areas, and they do kind of put you on a porch there, and beverages are brought to you. Sweetened, that's a luxury to put the sugar in there for you. And probably about 20, 25 minutes later, uh, uh, we'll see this woman will come out, uh, and you can see she's very tall for a woman, perhaps 6'2". Uh, uh, though it's a little hard to tell. You can see that there is something wrong with one of her legs. Uh, uh, it's hard to tell whether it's an injury or prosthetic or what. Um, and she is missing an eye there. It is that kind of milky, cloudy there. And I do have a picture of her in the NPC tab there. And she will come and she sets the bottle down, and she will say, "Captain Humayan."
I will have risen when she came in.
"No, no, no, please sit."
Ah, uh,
"So you're the one who gave the devil his due,
whether it was
handed
due or
him,
not,
handed him the coin.
aye, it is true.
Did you know what he was when you gave him that?"
I did not, but I did. I was aware he was a dark individual. It was a lapse on my part.
"Do these others know what he is? Have you told them?"
Certainly, I imagined, and if I may present, uh, this is known as, this is the renowned author Vern Kelsey, and this is the groom of Star Seeker, Cass.
"Well, Matt, I am Lady Hex Lindsay. Though Lindsay will be fine. My title is Boughton, so there's no need to stand on it."
Lucid Go Lightly was, I have learned, possessed of a demon. But from what I understand now, through the power of the doubloon, the demon inhabits his ship.
"How can I help you, Captain Humayan? What is it you have come here for?"
Jonius and I both have reason to face that foul creature. and we wish whatever information can give that will aid us in bringing him low.
Well, know that he is undoubtedly aware of your attentions, and know that he has allies. There are those who do not worry about affairs infernal because they have other things that they are more concerned with. So it puts me in the mind of this is the question of finding something that this one wants. Correct? That is what you need to know.
That would be helpful, yes.
Then I will tell you something, though I do not know if it will help you because it is not what I give you is not a solution, but the start of a journey. Go lightly seeks a thing called the Quintaru, a object from before the stars fell,
Oh,
a device that joined together several forms of old power that was said to have been made before the gods were killed. It was splintered, and as one can imagine with a name like Quintaru, it was splintered into 5 parts. I know where one of them may lie.
really?
Yes,
This knowledge you would be willing to part with?
that is a question, isn't it? But yes, I would.
May I ask what is the purpose of this mechanism, this if it were brought together, what does it do?
I do not know, except that it has to deal with the infernal.
That it
And
is best kept separate.
perhaps some way into hell itself for whatever powers he seeks.
Door that opens. Well, it does work both ways.
It does. And you want this knowledge from me.
Yes, if it is something he covets, then it is something that can be used against him.
Any lead you could point us at, we would be grateful for. I would show you my own scars from Lucid, but, well, he holds up his golden skeleton arm. That flesh is long gone. But I have seen his blood on my blades. I will see it again.
Certainly, I'll give you a map.
Thank you.
She says it very quickly. Here, I will write the map out for you.
You're very grateful.
You should not be. And she will carefully start drawing out with a very clear, practiced hand. And then she will hand you the map and she will say, I am a scholar. Uh, that has been my role. And she'll kind of look over at Vern, in much of a way that Vern is the scholar aboard your ship. I assume that, Vern, you have given advice and thoughts and information to your captain.
What I'm there for.
It was I that suggested to go lightly that he pursue you at your lowest point to fetch the coin.
See,
Here is the map.
I'll take it and just without even looking at it, hand it straight to Cass. Thank you. Perhaps many sins can be rectified.
No, that ship has sailed for me. He holds my soul.
If it is possible, we shall free that.
I hope you can do that before I die, because that is the deadline. When I pass, if that is not back with me, then I will be damned for all eternities.
And live well and carefully.
And I think we'll see you kind of head back to your cart and you will kind of look at this map and it is directions to Tang Chao
Yeah,
and
maybe.
inland
Captain.
to
Thanks up.
like look inland into the jungles there to a lost city.
I'm
Study
very
it
interested in
well,
that.
know it by heart.
I will, sir. I also know someone who may want to travel with us there.
Oh, very well.
One of the song swords.
I
Besides.
see. Well, we have a first step in this rather long journey, but we still must. Uh, this cannot be our sole focus, I fear.
Mm,
We must be able to gird ourselves. There will be much we need when we face go lightly.
yes. What sort of container do you put a soul in, do you suppose? We should probably get one of those.
Usually a body.
Oh, but no. Well, I mean, yes, usually. Perhaps, perhaps a clamshell
Perhaps.
or a pearl. Maybe a
S-
pearl.
Certainly from here, Captain, sailing fairly north, you can head to your island
Mhm.
there, and then you could go to meet your friend at Horizon, or you could head to Tang Chao directly. So it does take us on a couple of ways there.
Yes, indeed.
I think that If you make the arrangements, Medzad will be willing to pay a treasure to you, Captain, for passage. If you're willing to,
Mazad.
if you're willing to take along the
Ah,
the shanty sword.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Certainly.
He will pay for his passage then.
And I will take his money.
Excellent.
Does anybody wish to buy something? And Lowell has been kind enough to remind us of that several times. If we're fixing to set sail,
Yes.
this might be the time to grab something.
I want to picked up
And I'll hear you. I'll be right back.
a
Okay.
healing salve and also a set of alchemy supplies.
That sounds reasonable.
Sort of more mysticy toned than chemistry alchemy, but yeah,
Okay.
magic stuff.
Anything you wish to broadcast?
Yes, I would like to buy some pigments.
Okay.
They are the kind that you use for tattoos or dyeing wood.
Okay. So yeah, we'll say a treasure to have the tools for tattooing and dyeing and that kind of crafting. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes.
Okay. There are compass and sextant which aids in navigating new waters.
What did you say?
For one treasure you could buy a new compass and sextant to aid you in navigating new waters.
I need to buy a new one. I already have a compass and sextant.
Oh, do you already have those as goods on your thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Then
Those are
make sure
things
you
that I
mention
got
that when
my.
you go to navigate new waters because that will aid in that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just noticing that.
Yeah, I have
Uh,
all those things.
Vern, anything you want to buy?
Yes, I would like to buy a revolver
Okay,
Oh,
and the
absolutely.
ammunition to go with it.
Absolutely. You will have two harm, loud, far, reload, stealthy, commonplace. Oh no, two
No,
harm, far, loud, one piercing, reload,
yeah,
spray.
yep.
And Captain Humayan?
I think I'm going to pick up a pistol.
Okay, excellent. So, we will see your ship head out. Uh, Captain Humayan, would you roll me a d6?
Yes.
Okay.
3.
You do not get the negative from that on that renown, but I believe you have a bonus ability for when you leave port, when you would test
Yeah,
renown.
do we want to
we
spend a point to get one?
What do we think, gang? I think it's not a bad idea, personally.
Sure.
We have 4 left. All
Are
right.
we going to take Bizad with us?
Yep.
We are.
Okay, cool.
What our options? Let's hear our options and we can decide what we like to do here. We could have a new follower. We picked up one last time. I don't know if that's something we want to do again. We could learn of an incredible treasure. The fate marks it with an X on the map, or we could take unwanted attention and mark it ourselves. We've impressed someone important, get a message from them or a scene with them. Pick someone, including yourself, who gains the bond with them. That's pretty cool. So it'd be one of those. We'd like an incredible treasure that we find out about?
You've
We
got a couple of
obviously like.
treasures on the map. I will
Yeah,
say,
we've got.
like, you got,
Yeah,
Would
I
we
feel
like a
like,
follower?
fiction wise, we have gained a follower and impressed someone important, so either one of those would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let that impress someone important.
do you want to put Bazad in as like as someone important? Like as a person who is amongst the seniors of that sort of strange society of shanty swords?
It's a pretty neat idea. Who was it that found him? Was that you, Cass, or was that you,
I
Vern?
did. I ran into them.
Right. Well, would you like to have a? I'm trying. Let me look real quick on. Yeah, both of you could probably
Yeah.
use that.
Yeah.
Would you like to have a scene with him and pick up his bond?
Sure,
Yeah, I think that
sure.
that is already established, and like from the earlier scene, I think we'll have that bond, and I think that Captain Humayun, you'll kind of like when Bazad, arrives, uh, like people on the docks and the other captains, you will see them like defer to him and come over and shake his hand, like he's like you didn't quite realize it, but he's clearly a respected and important person.
He's
Like,
kind of a big deal.
yeah, big deal. And everybody is, they're clearly, there's some, oh, Captain Humayun's very lucky, but Bazad is going to be traveling with him, that kind of thing. And certainly a certain share of envy. I imagine you had dinner with the Captain Sam Lane, and he will
Hmm.
look over and nod at you as if to say, very well done, kind of thing. So, uh,
I am very impressed that Cass managed to, meet and convince this person I've definitely heard of but never
yes.
met to come with us.
So yeah, I think you all can do that and get set on your way. Uh, I don't think that uh, as I'm looking at these sort of this moves, I don't think necessarily that you have defeated an important foe, claimed a great treasure, or accomplished a crew goal necessarily this session. But I think we are definitely heading towards that. Does that seem reasonable?
Hmm.
Okay. Then I think that's where we're going to stop for tonight. As we head out, we'll make some traveling rolls. I assume, Captain, that we're heading for your treasure first.
That certainly seems on the way.
Okay, then that is going to be kind of our first goal there. Let's do a quick stars and wishes. Captain Humayun.
Mm. This was tons of fun. Everybody I thought had really kind of deep things they did, and I liked the scholar, and it was cool, Patrick, you kind of finding out that information and getting it. Um, I thought we all had cute adventures or cool adventures in the town. I loved seeing Vern. You get this idea of Vern is kind of the naive one of our party going in and just raking out the dough gambling. Uh, I also really approve of picking up the revolver because that plays to, having seen you as the, fighting there on the decks and now you're picking up your own revolver. I think that's a cool thing. I liked seeing Cass go around and kind of, you know, go to Ratzenfecken to kind of explain the ship and kind of the talking with the ship. I love this idea of maybe Cass. I don't know if it would be, like an apprentice or but someone that they're willing to trust so that Cass can come off the ship some is cool. Um, and I really enjoyed Patrick, I liked the kind of interactions you had with the our vampire crewmate. I thought that was cool. But I also really, when we were in there talking, there was a good feel to the energy of our group conversation. I thought kind of revealing some information about stuff, and it was a really good tone, Patrick, that you were giving from Donius. I
Yeah.
liked it. I thought that was really good. And of course, I cannot help but say an unexpected Love and Rockets reference in the session is something I was really delighted by because there is no new tale to tell.
Absolutely.
Uh,
I'm glad you caught that. Awesome. Uh, Vern.
Um, yeah, I think Tyler kind of covered most of it. I really like the addition of the uh, uh, shanty sword guy. I like I like seeing Cass interact with like other people, as opposed to just the ship. Although the Cass ship relationship is very interesting. And I like that this like, oh, this is a person who can sing to the ship. Like this is the other person who talks to the ship. So like seeing Cass, meet and befriend and recruit someone who like kind of shares that ability. That was really cool. And Yeah, I also really like the Nonius and Yadana. I like the whole Nonius Yadana relationship. And it's slowly evolving over time. It's very cool to watch. Uh, and the scholar, like with her entire backstory, and uh and Captain Humayon, like just kind of laying it on pretty thick, and her going, yeah, I want you to do this.
Awesome. Cass.
I like this session. It was a lot of good character stuff in the middle of some simple downtime actions. It was just we had a little bit of task that we were doing, and mostly it was just us riffing on little bits about our character and interacting and figuring out how we're going to move on to the next thing. And it felt really good. Y'all are good players. It was a joy to watch you, and it's pretty much yeah, it's pretty much like just the best. It's my pals and they're telling great stories, and yeah, at all different levels. So it was good.
Excellent. And Ananias.
Yeah, this was cool stuff. I really like Lady Hex, and starting to take steps down the path to the Captain and Nonius's like grand revenge plans. Um Also, the shanty sword guy was just fucking cool. Um, I
I will
I want to
admit
play
the
that role playing game. It's
yeah,
cool.
that is there's that Pelgrane game about magic
Mhm.
shanty collectors, and certainly that is in the back of my mind. I'm like, I'm going to steal that, for what we're doing here.
It's
So,
great stuff. Um, and I will say I felt a little bit bad about like taking a left turn on the layout of the witches story there, like having the witches there and then avoiding them. But
I thought
I
that was great. Like because you told us so much about who your character is through that. That was such a great choice.
Thank you. And I struggled with it, but like where I came down was, yeah, I wanted to use it as an opportunity to like tell where Nonius is starting in his relationship with the
Oh.
witches, and I definitely want to evolve to more confrontational, more things in the future. But I really appreciate you bringing them in and giving me a chance to start making those choices and
Hmm.
see where I want to take that.
Yeah, and no, I thought that was a great move on your part.
Um,
Like it really felt like the right move to make, and told us a lot.
and then the conversation with Yadano was great. This like she also has a weird connection with death, and I'm starting to not hate her entirely all the time. And I might do something nice for her next time. I don't know. Think about it.
Now, is she still dangerous to us?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we're
she's still a
aren't we all
vampire.
dangerous?
Okay, just checking.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I had a great time. Looking forward to this. I love all the weird stuff that we're getting in here, and the plots that we're starting to tie together. I am going to stop the recording.